Our next speaker is Dr. Chaman Raina, born in 1940 in Srinagar, Kashmir. He's a respected scholar and fellow at the Center of Spirituality at Florida International University. He has made significant contributions in the field of Sanskrit studies and religious studies. With a strong educational background, Dr. Raina is a Sanskrit graduate with honors in Urdu, master's degrees in English and Hindi, and he's conducted research on Kashmir Shaivism or Lalleshwari for his research methodology course at the University of Kashmir. He later completed his PhD on the philosophy of Sri Aurobindo and Iqbal from Kashmir University. Prior to his position at FIU in the USA, Dr. Raina taught research methodology courses at the Iqbal Institute, University of Kashmir, and contributed to the academic community as a faculty member at the Department of Religious Studies. His postdoctoral research focuses on the exploration and facets of Shakti Tattva, and his works have been published by prestigious institutions, including the University of Kashmir, University of Rajasthan, Sri Somnath Sanskrit University in Gujarat, and Florida International University. Dr. Raina has made significant contributions to the field through his annotations and translations. Notably, he has published an annotated and translated version of facets of Sri Chandi Navadurga and Sri Lalita Sahasranama in English. His annotations extend to the Jwala Sahasranama and Sri Sharika Sahasranama Nirupanam for the Bhagwan Gopinath Research Center in Delhi. He has authored several books, including Sri Rajni Sahasranama Nirupanam and Kashmir Shakti Darshanam, published by Somnath Sanskrit University, and Bhavani Sahasranam Nirupanam, Quintessence of Shakti Tattva and Sri Aurobindo, published by Rajasthan University. His research primarily focused on Kavidya, Shakti Rahasya, and the quest and reflections of Shakti Tattva. In addition to his scholarly pursuits, Dr. Raina expresses his artistic side through artwork based on Bija Mantras and Agamic Shlokas. He's currently working on a publication centered on the Dashamahavidya, which will be available in English in the near future. Dr. Raina's presentation is on Abhinavagupta with a vision of aesthetics.
Namaskar. Professor Navjeevanji, Sri George Barcelarji, Dr. Mark, yourself, and the scholars, those who have spoken or those who will be speaking after me. I am just a learner, but I think I am very fortunate that I was born in Kashmir because I inherited what our tradition is from Abhinavagupta to this date. We inherited is how I inherit. When I stayed with my mother, she used to go to the kitchen that is known as choka, and she would teach me how to do Agni Puja. And there is a concept that is known as Oksor, Dusor, Trutsor. All these are the basis of the aesthetic concept that has been given to us by Abhinavagupta. Abhinavagupta is not far away from us. He is with us. He resides in the recesses of our heart. He lives with children, with your children, with everybody's children. And we have to understand Abhinavagupta from that point of view. How he gave this concept, it is the kripa, Daivi kripa. And in the language of Sri Aurobindo, it is said that is a divine intervention. There's a divine intervention. I talk to you, I never knew you. I never knew of the INDICA because I had been here for so many years. And it is all divine intervention when we talk. As I am so glad to say that I see George Bursler after many years. I have seen him in the 80s when I was asked by Swamiji to work on this book, Kashmir Shaivism. If you see it, and he has told me to write on Kashmir Shaivism. And you will be glad to know these are the paintings I have been asked by Swamiji to make paintings and to work on Kashmir Shaivism. These are my paintings. This is the inspiration I received from Swamiji. Now, this is the concept of Sri Chakra, as I understand Sri Chakra at Sharika Parvat. And this is what my imagination is about the Sri Chakra. Let us go and see this. And it is Shiva Tattva. And then when we go to this is the Shakti Tattva. This is aesthetic. Somebody made it. And it is because of the concept of the Tattvas that we can make it more and more beautiful. It is I only did this thing. And this represents the Shiva, Shakti, Anu, and yourself and myself and everybody's self. There is no. Shri Chakra Prabindu Tat Parapara Shri Raja Rajeshri Chanda Paduga Nirusmukha Shiksha Janga Yuga Ved Ruga Yusujugnaya Sam Vedodara Trapnyai Kucha Fit Sumritukta Vyadi Vedana Vedantam Ritalochana Bhagavati Shri Raja Rajeshri. Today we are fortunate in the sense that today is Jethatam, Jeshta Ashtami, and I say, I pray Mata Rajna Bhagavati, who is our Ishtadevi, and she is presenting herself through every vibration. That what George Bursler was saying, and Swamiji has learned it from Swamiji, that's the Matrika. And Matrika is residing within every nerve and nerve and nervous system when we speak. Etc. And then we say every word, what we see, what we think or perceive is nothing but the manifestation of Vagdevi. She is Saraswati, she is Sharda. That is why. Though the topic is Abhinavagupta and his vision of aesthetics. Aesthetics is the Saundarya Shastra. And Sundarta is, we say, Saundarya. In Kashmiri, we have the name of our grandmother, Sundaramal. In both the communities, Sundaramal, Sundar Ladika Prakanchis. So Sundarta is that we focus on. What is the Sundarta? Is this facial? Yes, it is. According to Abhinavagupta, it is. But it is within the recesses of my heart. That is the Ananda. And that is the base of this aesthetics. If we read otherwise, most the work has been done by K.C. Panditji. Most that becomes the primary source for Westerners because they cannot read Sanskrit. They do not have access to the books, and there are not the teachers available. So his work, the Indian aesthetics, Western aesthetics, plus his work, Abhinavagupta is the base book for us. It is a guiding post, it is a beacon light. And that from that light, we can see many more things. And it is because of this fact that today, if you go to Kashmir and you see there are Tripur Magana. What is this Tripur? This is Tripur Sundari. It is connected with the Trusor of Kashmiri household and even the brand. And there are 3 steps going up and down, and that is related to the applied aesthetics. You see, when our mothers or my grandmother would make this whitewash. It wasn't actually whitewash, it was Gurit Mills. The word is Gurit Mills and Lepana, it is Lepan to wash it. And you see, they would use this hand, left hand, and do like this. That is concept of the Vamachara. From left to right. You see, our aesthetics is not only in books, it is in the applied form when we say Karan and Post. Post is the Sattva, and we can have Sharan of any color. But when it touches our body, it must be white. That is the Sattva, and we learn the Satogun, Tamogun, and Rajasun. If we take the point of this Taranga, it is known as Taranga, and there are 3.5 worlds. When even in West say, when Kashmiri daughter is being wedded, she is being adorned with this Taranga, though it is symbolic, but it does carry meaning. And even Zuj, Pooch, and that Pooch is nothing but the Kundalini Shakti. Also, and if we know it, the pocket of the male is from the right side and the pocket of the female is on the left side, along with the dur, and dur is red, that reflects the Shakti Tattva. All these things are imbibed in our psyche, and it does help us to understand what was in the mind. For example, all this lecture is based on, my work is on applied. I am fortunate because I have not been given the Shaktipat by Swamiji, but I have his Drishtipat, and George Bursler knows it very well. He knows it very well, and I will say that it was he when I asked him. This book was written under the guidance of Swamiji in 80s. It took me 3-4 years. Then we have to leave, and then he had written that some portion of it is written individually. And this is the aesthetics, book on aesthetics, aesthetics, as said by Swamiji, because every word has been verified by Swamiji. And George Bursler knows it very well, and this is his introduction. He writes, Dr. Chaman Lal's contribution to the teachings of both the Shakta system and the Trikadarshana, Kashmir Shaivism, is enormous. His numerous books, papers, and pamphlets have benefited thousands of sincere spiritual aspirants in finding the deeper meaning embodied in the text and stotras or hymns of these highly mystical philosophical terms. The Shaktivad is being reproduced and reprinted in Kashmiri language and will be a great benefit for ongoing seekers of truth. I pray that one day this profound book can also be published for the English reader, because this is what has been told to me, and rather as a child is being taught by father and mother, so I was taught these words by Swamiji. I owe him much. See how destiny takes place. After migration, I went to the USA. I got a job because of my work, and I started teaching their Sanskrit. What I thought that they have misinterpreted the concept. They do not know. As, for example, you will know it because of those who know Kashmiri, we say Asun and Vasun. It is Abasa. It is both A and Basa, but it is Abasa. But we know what Basun is, what Asun is. It is Aham and Idam. Asun and Basun is it is Asun and Basun is nothing but Aham and Idam. So the aesthetics is based on the 4 pillars. What are these 4 pillars? Satyam and Ritam. Number 1. And number 2 is Satyam and Ritam, though these are the basic concepts, but when we go through it, and we need 2 more pillars, that is to understand the Shiva and Shakti. And that is why we have the paintings. I will show you. This is Kashmir art, and these with the grace of Swamiji, I could draw these things, and even this is in Swachanda Bhairava. I have written, translated, not translation, but I will comment upon these as I think it is Swachanda Bhairava, as George Bursler is very fond of, and this stotras. And see how things move from place to place. And if you go to the Western dramas or Western paintings, we do find difference because our focus is on the Ananda. Ananda. It is root with root Nanda plus all means around, and whatever it is the inner experience. The inner experiences come when we are attuned with. Just go to the Durga Sapshati last page, published by Gita Plus Group Code, and there is Sutatrambike that has been well explained in English by Swamiji. That is Abhinavagupta. He said, whatever there is sound, that is the Matrika. You know, when we enter our homes, that is known as Garaj. And here in America, it is known as housewarming or Graha Pravesha. In the Indian world, we say Graha Pravesha. Then we there make that tree type with tuna, means with lime. And if you see trees, that has its basis in the Saptamatrika. Kashmir has that is its applied aesthetics. If you only want to know that what the words are in Abhinavagupta or the Nyalok or other books, then that will be only philosophical. But today the world is changing. Unless we put all those things in our practical life, then there will be only study. And without understanding Kashmir Shaivism, the basis of Kashmir Shaivism, what can we say? Because we say in American way of life, everything is real. Everything is real. So it was said by Abhinavagupta and others. Even this has been told by, I think, in my humble way, Swami Ramji Maharaj, who lived, who happened to be the incarnation of Abhinavagupta's teachings. It was because of him that Swami Muhatabbat, Swami Vidyadharji, Swami Govind Kaurji, and ultimately, when it flowers and it becomes the Shiva Tattva, it is Swami Lakshmi Maharaj. See how it works. And I had the opportunity, because I was living at Naisadak, and I used to go to the Hari Parvat, and I would pay my obeisance at the feet of Swami Ramji Maharaj, and then I would feel the vibration that is the sapanda and the way that has been evolved from time to time, even in our life, in our drawings, paintings, even our food habits. Even tahar, what is that? Haridra Anarasikaye Nama, Shushakti Ekurupine Nama, Shama Baye Nama, Master Jolaye Nama, Tailoke Mohine Nama, Tripura Sundare Nama, Tripura Maline Nama. All these are with Tripura. Even the book, which is being adored and recited by most of our by many people, that is the name Panchastavi. Why Panchastavi? Pancha means the fire, and it is a Suvati of Pancha. And then what we see, if we have to see the applied form of aesthetics, we can see in the Tripura Sundari. Tripura Sundari is the basis of our understanding. And then I will say how Tripura Sundari will work. These are the paintings which I have made under the guidance of Lakshmi Maharaj. These have been approved by him. These paintings, speeches, and the shlokas written underneath have been approved by him.
Maharaj, I have traced.
Because it is 7:45 this time, early morning.
We are blessed that you took out time, and this is a very big effort for us. I mean, thank you so much. Muncho pratah kal to toichu.
And then, otherwise, I have written the paper. I will email it and you may send it to those who are interested in it. But that is academic exercise.
Audience,
Instead of
for audience, some of them are asking for the titles. Please put your screen in a speaker view. Then the screen will be in bigger shape. Then you will be able to see the titles closely on your screen. All audience.
डिम्पल जी क्या छु वनानियम
हाँ बो वनो तो तोय छु पर इन पेक्षा का बेचू बेसिकली तो व्यू करून ना चेंज अगर तो स्पीकर व्यू करियो तमसी थकन सॉरी लूक पूछे तुन क्या छु बासान के ओडी छु इवान वुष्ण मतलब सारनी तो
हाय या तो बुजुर्ग सुन का छु इमीडिएटली
इन पेक्षा बारो एत वुष्ण
ये Kalpana, I will ask Kalpana to do it.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much.
I learned typing at the age of 65. Then I typed 5,000 papers. So,
can you put Chamanlalji's screen and speaker view? वो my view में ना दिख रहा होगा gallery speaker वगैरह तो ताकि केवल वे दिखाई दे हमें screen पे speaker. View छू.
I don't use that much.
No, audience can put it themselves. Each
audience can put it. So
audience can choose the speaker view.
Yeah, that might be a better option.
Yeah. That they will be able to see the title closely.
एक मिनट मारा है तो पन्न न्यूज पुस्तक छौ ना तो अमुक फ्रंट पेज है तो ताकि सारी हेकन मुचित की कॉस किताब छ
that was a Hindi title, right?
प्लीज अनम्यूट करता मारा माइक्रोफोन पानून हाँ वाइन मुन के हाँ ये तो दुर्गा सप्त यत्न मारा तुहुन बस तुहुन पेंटिंग छौ तिम होय
first book सौंदर्य शास्त्र aesthetics book also.
Yeah. It is in Kashmiri.
Oh, okay.
The paintings.
Okay, yeah.
Alta ji, well, hey, तो एक से thank you.
I'm trying to find out. I cannot see the gallery screen for some reason.
This is my.
The quest and reflections. You heard तुम्हारा बे exmenters quest and reflections. Thank you. Please
Thank
go
you,
ahead. Please go ahead, sir.
Please continue, sir. Please continue.
This is a painting on Bhavani Ragnavati, published by Sri Somnath Sanskrit University. And the great thing is how the divine works. When Swamiji was reciting the shlokas as recommended by his father, Pandit Narayan Ju, Swamiji asked him, what is the meaning? His father told him, Pandit Narayan Ju said, no, I cannot. Then a teacher was requested to teach him Sanskrit and meaning. It was Pandit Maheshwaradana Rajanak Maheshwaradana. And he taught him the Vedic Sanskrit and books related on Kashmir Shaivism, plus Vyakarana, and that Vyakarana, it was Ashtadhyaya also. And I had the opportunity because after migration, we went to Rajasthan, Ajmer, and I could study a little portion of this Ashtadhyayi under the teacher there, because we were only taught this Siddhanta Kaumudi. And then it did help me to arrive at the basic root and its system. That is the way how language evolves. That is the way how our word evolves. I will tell you one thing. There is an INDICA word in the Tantraloka, but the same word has become the Hanukkah in Judaism. Hanukkah. H-A-N-U-K, Hanukkah. And there is similarity in various words. Say, there is Nath name for the males, and we say Nath. See the influence of Nath Sampradaya. And even in Judaism also, when we study it, their months are what we have these names. It is in the Judaism also. And they also do the puja. That is also the Tantra puja as we do it. And they put that burning bowl there and offer it to the deity. What does this suggest? That there is interaction. There was interaction at the time also when they could exchange their thoughts. The aim of understanding Abhinavagupta is to reach the masses. Now, see, the time is changing. You do not go to the library. I've seen my grandchildren, at the encyclopedia, world encyclopedia, they never see to it because they have their mobile in their hand and they will say, they do not remember it. They don't bother about it. So the world is changing. Who will read Abhinavagupta? If we have to reach the masses, we will have to tell them, make small books so that they could understand what at least he said. How I made it for. Maybe I may live one day or 1 year or some time, but who will tell these things to unless we sit together and tell it to our children, at least at a time when we are just having dinner time. We must speak to our children about the glory of Abhinavagupta, the Trika. If we go to the word Trika, it is Trikagni, it is in the Vedas. And it has been translated as triad. Whatever triad it is in this world is nothing but it's a concept of the Triple Sundari. And that is, even in the Agamas also, it is Siddhoga, number 1, Manavoga. Similarly, it goes on from tier to tier, tier to tier, up to the 7th, and Swamiji would say, Shat Chakra Vedanam Sarva. It is all the Shat Chakra Vedana when we do Shat Chakra, and that Shat Chakra is nothing but this is the Shat Chakra. This is Shat Chakra, and here it is the Shiva Tattva. This is, we can say that we can make it, just frame it in that phraseology. That phraseology has given strength to our psyche, and that is why Kashmir Shaivism is being respected by all. It is the yoga. Kashmir Shaivism is poetry. It is mathematics. As I have said, I may read it. It is closely related to the Shakti worship that we see in every corner of Kashmir, or because of the impact of the Agamas read with the Tantra fold prevalent in Kashmir. Kashmir is one of the Shakti Pitas among 50 Pitas mentioned in Lalita Sahasranama. Such questions need a rational approach of study, rather to believe in tradition and myth from the philosophical understanding. Further, in Shaiva system, there are 7 mixed principles where Mula Prakriti is termed as Prakriti Maya. And we say in Kashmir, why are we entangled in this Mohamaya? It is, but we go beyond that, and that is the Ananda Swarup. Now, he has written it. Swamiji's contemporary was Swami Krishnajoraj. I hope many people must have read him, and he has written 161 poems related to Shobhayanaya. And that is all aesthetics. Whatever Swami Abhinavagupta has said, it has been put in Kashmiri poetry by none else who is known as Krishnajoraj. I had the opportunity to work on it. I worked on it and I dramatized it. It is Kashmiri portion. This is the book. Do you see it?
This
This 161 episodes of the marriage of Shiva and Shakti. And it is all in poetry, all the rasas and all the bhavas. What has been said by Abhinavagupta and others are already in Kashmiri poetry. Why? Because Kashmir is the crown of India. It is the beauty. Mata Sharda is there. Saraswati is vibrating through every word when there is murmuring of these breezes, and the lake is there. So this has the impact. That is why Swamiji chose to be at Ishwarashram. There is beauty, and the reflections of the Mahadev Parvata are there. When you go and meditate upon these things and Shaktipitas and known as the Ishtadevis of Kashmir and Swami Amarnath, and also Hareshwar, Sureshwar, and Dhyaneshwar. Many, maybe those who are born after migration, they may not be knowing even these names and their locations. All these are based on the concept of Shiva Advaita. That is the form that Shiva is one. But it does manifest, and this manifestation is because of the Avrohana descent. And who was influenced by this? I will take you back to 1944-45 when Sri Aurobindo visited Kashmir, and it was under the orders of Maharaja Hari Singh. Maharaja Hari Singh, Madhusudan Kaur Shastri, who was the superintendent of research there, and he offered him all the books printed by the department. And when Swami, when Sri Aurobindo reached Pondicherry, he wrote a postcard and saying that had I studied Abhinavagupta and Kashmir Shaivism, I should not have worked so far. This has been, at that time, the sweet clerk was a great scholar of Sanskrit and Manuscriptology, Pandit Dinanath Shastri. Dinanath Yaksha Shastri, who was later given this Rashtrapati Award, Sanskrit Award also. He diarized this, and he has said that Kashmir, whatever Savitri is, or whatever the sonnets are, has its basis in Kashmir Shaivism. As for my earning bread, I had to study Urdu and Persian and Sanskrit, and then I worked on Sri Aurobindo, and it gave me an understanding that whatever Savitri is nothing but the expression of Mriturma Amritam Gramya. And it is the Ananda, because it is not a tragedy like the tragedy of Greek tragedy. No, there should be Ananda. When Satyavan regained his life, what else could be for an Indian woman to be Suhagin? That is the beauty. So these seven sounds, Sati, Savitri and Satyava, Sati, Savitri and Sita, these are the respected, and all these have, it is beginning letter with Sha, Sha, Sa, Ha, that means energy giving. You are a lover, Sha, Sa, Urja, this is all Urja. And this Urja is the expression of beauty. The beauty is in the Bindi. Why? And Bindi, and also in the Tilkam also. And even if you see from the aesthetic point of view, when it is known as Nirvan in Kashmir, actually, and it is known as Mauli, we put one note, and that is Shiv Shakti Ekrupini. Who has taught us? It has been given to us by the tradition and has been conveyed from generation to generation from Abhinavagupta to Swami Lakshmipati Maharaj. These things do help us to understand and tell to our children. And moving from it is deep philosophical understanding with this application that is the need of ours. And I will tell you who has been influenced. Even Alkeshwari, Mata Rupa Bhavani, and I have translated and written it. This is my book. And if we see the pages, though it is in Kashmiri and each verse has been put, explained, it is not in translation, it is explanation of each verse. That is nothing but the duty, the aesthetics of Sri Shaivism. That is why when the woman who is just married and reaches to the Voru means in-laws, and he has to say, who has come? They will say, Tripur Sundari. So not Tripur Sundari. Our daughter-in-law is the Tripur Sundari. What will Tripur Sundari give to them? She will give them wealth, riches. She will maintain the house. She will look at the aesthetics. And it is not only that she has come and they will have children, but she will look for the welfare of the family. This is what application means. Applied even in USA also. When we sit together, I tell my grandchildren these stories about our past. And I'm sure they will one day, when you will see my granddaughter also, she will speak some words, some sentences from Panchastari, though she's a school-going child. Why? Unless we convey them all these things, how can we explain our glory? The glory is to be conveyed. I think I have taken much of time, and just I will say one thing. You see it? Bala, this is the first Suryodaya, what we say Navari. Navari, Samvatsara. This is the painting on Samvatsara. Balar Kamandala Basam Chatrapaham Tralochanam Pasham Kushbaram Dajantim Shwam Baje. This is our, and that is why in our Kashmiri system, in the system, I pray that it should be retained. There is the concept of you, Posh Puja. Posh Puja is the aesthetics of Abhinavagupta. Even Previn, if you see it from the research point of view, Posh Puja is Abhinavagupta's application of aesthetics. You will find it nowhere in India, in Hindu families. Only in Kashmir that we consider them Shiva and Parvati as
so
there.
would you like to
That is
benefit? So, Chaman sir, for the benefit of the larger audience, would you like to tell them what exactly is Posh Puja? Like, it's a part of the wedding ceremony.
Posh Puja is after the Saptapadi. When Saptapadi is over, they have seen it, and they look at the mirror, Darpana. That is to see the Saundarya. At the time also, the woman or the girl says that I do not accept you. It is okay. That is the concept of Darpan there. See how it has evolved. And then what happens? Then they are, after this Saptapadi, they are sit on a cushion, and it should be brocade or makhmal or anything, and that is being known as the Chhatra. And then father, mother, Pukhi, Boa, Masi, etc. Friends, they do come and it is being recited, the verses. That is its own original Kashmir concept. And we pay them for offer floor. That is the plural attributes to Shiva and Shakti. So Shiva and Shakti is always in our home. That is why 999th epithet of Lalita is Shiv Shakti Ekarupenya Nama. Then 1000 is Sri Lalita Amritaye Nama. And that is why the same word Lal is associated with Laleshwari. You will be glad to know that I have translated it, though it was in my PhD. I did translate, I commented upon in Hindi, and it has been by Nataraj Publications. My work at this time, it is complete. It is on the Shmavidya, and before that, I wrote Kadi Vidya and the Nyasas, Anushtana, all these are related. Now, so far, now my health is being deteriorated.
Rustic, I saw your question in the question and answer box. Probably the same question you may be bringing up. You raised your hand. Your question is whether all these Kashmiri cultural elements are prior to Trika system or later to Trika system?
No, I don't have a question actually. I just have a comment to make.
You made that comment, or it is in the chat box. You made a comment whether all these Kashmiri cultural elements are earlier to Trika system or later to Trika system.
No,
it is an evolution. It is evolution. Always it is evolution. It is evolutionary thought.
But that is an interesting way of looking at things.
Yes,
any scholar would definitely be interested in trying to know the connection between the Kashmiri philosophical thought and the sadhana system and the Kashmiri culture. So this is a beginning. Probably Dr. Raina has thrown those seeds now. So using these as seeds, maybe people can further research on these things, whether there are connections between the Kashmiri cultural elements and the Kashmir Shaiva system. That's a very interesting.
Actually,
Professor Rastogi.
I have some curiosities. I think, let me thank Professor Nagaraj and Dimple ji, because I'm listening to Dr. Raina ji for the first time. And it's my good luck that I feel I'm enlightened. But there are three just small queries. Is there any evidence of Aurobindo's visit to Kashmir in 1944 and 45?
Yes.
And
Aurobindo.
Yes, of Aurobindo.
Yeah. It is because he has used the word Sulaiman for the word Shankaracharya.
Pardon?
Sulaiman, when he went Kashmir, and then he went to pay his obeisance to Shankaracharya to Lord Shiva. The guy with him who associated him, not helped him to reach there, he told me it is known as Sulaiman Teng. Teng is the Tunga, basically. Teng is Kashmiri word, the original word is Tunga. Tunga becomes Teng. Tunga is Teng, Sulaiman Teng. And they would say, he told them it was Sulaiman Teng, but he has also used the Sulaiman word in one of his sonnets. And perhaps you must be knowing, you have heard his name, or you might have
yes.
What is his name? Dinanath Yaksha. Dinanath Yaksha received the postcard addressed to Madhusudan Kaur Shastri that I have been privileged to see these books. Had I not received these books, given presented to me by the then Maharaja, then I would not have done so much. I thought that I have given the concept of the Atimanasa or supramental consciousness, but already these things have been given by Abhinava others.
That's right. I simply wanted to know, because that is a very important statement, and that changes many things. Because our view is that, of course, there are great similarities between Kashmir Shaivism and the thought of Aurobindo. Now, here is the direct evidence that you are talking about. So, as a student of Kashmir Shaivism, I mean, because when I met Dinanathji, I've been meeting him quite often. So, and he has been my mentor, in fact, I should say. So I have dedicated one book to the memory of Dinanath Yakshiji of mine. So because I owe to him a lot. But the only thing is this, because at no point of time he ever mentioned this fact to me. And it was not necessary for him to mention this fact to me. But still, I think this is very important, because so is there any record of Dinanath Yakshiji having made this statement?
It is I will document it in my PhD thesis.
Right. So I think that will be great. I mean, I will be obliged if you share. Of course, I'll send my address to Dimpleji or to you, and through I'll take you. I'll take you my address.
I will scan the page and I will send to you and others.
That's right. And another thing was just very small thing. You mentioned there are 4 pillars of aesthetics. What are those 4 pillars? You just
I forgot 2. I said Satyam.
Perhaps I missed them. That's the only.
I missed them. In my age, it was in my mind. Therefore, I have said these things when Angrezi was at the University of Rajasthan, and I was asked to speak on Sri Aurobindo, but because my work was on Sri Aurobindo at Kashmir Shaivism, it has been published by the Rajasthan University. The 4th thing is Satyam, Ritam, and 2 I forgot. I just forgot. It was in my mind. But these are the 4 pillars.
Satyam, Ritam.
So one is Satyam and Ritam. This has the
remaining 2 we will share.
And then 3rd I did say, now I do not remember. What is the 3rd I did? It may make me help to recollect the word. Because when we speak, it goes like a stream.
Not a problem, sir. Not a problem. Please don't take too much trouble.
No problem. Chaman Lal sir, मैं आपको mail I'll pass it on.
And I will just ask my memory side.
No problem. I'll have it later. No problem. Please.
Why not?
No problem.
Tomorrow I may convey it to my granddaughter also. My children.
Chaman Lal ji,
These are the 4 things.
ये हमारा ओ सत्यम रितम शिवत शक्ति कैसे
No. Shiva Shakti no, Satyam and Ritam. It is one is Samvit, the other is the word which I do not recollect it. I have worked on it. Satyam, Ritam, and that is from the Vedas. Because we have to, even in, I will tell to Rastoki ji and all others for more scholars of brilliance. I should say I'm just a student, but with my age I have learned all these things when I said before Swamiji that.
They're all students, you see. They're all students, they're all learners. Yes.
George,
Could I add one thing?
And these things do help us. What we need to do. This is my humble request to all of you. All of us are with this gray here now. I may be more alert to all of you. Maybe, I don't know, but I may be. Whatever little we know Kashmir Shaivism, instead of making more philosophical, let us make it more rational in very simple language. Now nobody is going to read these things. Changes have come.
Dr. Raina, George ji wants to say something. Yeah, please, George.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I can just add something for Dr. Rastogi's question. I had the pleasure of interviewing many of Swamiji's devotees. One who was a devotee of Swamiji from birth. He confirmed that Swamiji and Sri Aurobindo had a close relationship. They did meet, that they used to exchange aerograms, the old aerograms, because he used to post them. And Swamiji, in the last year of Aurobindo's life, he spent the whole time in seclusion. This was 1950, I believe. Swamiji went to Aurobindo, and he went there at very early morning. He went to the gate, and the mother sent a chokidar to say there's somebody important at the gate, you must let them in. And Swamiji actually had darshan or exchange, we can say, with Aurobindo in the last year of Aurobindo's life. I went to Auroville, I went to Pondicherry, I checked with the main librarian, and I said, you must have some aerograms in your history of Swamiji, and he was too busy to search for that. We've searched in Swamiji's room, we didn't, but Swamiji had the habit of burning things. But what he did say in the end to me personally, Aurobindo was the only one outside of Kashmir who had a very clear concept of universal mind. His concept of universal mind was completely in line with Kashmir Shaivism. So yes, Swamiji they definitely met, and they did exchange ideas and letters. So
Thank you, George. The only question remains whether Aurobindo ji also visited Kashmir, and that's my question. And he was presented with the text of the Kashmir. I mean, just a historical question. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure, sir. Rastogi ji, just I recollected it is Shreyas and Prayas.
Right.
Satyam, Chitam, Shreyas and Prayas. Now, thank God I could recollect it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So, 4 pillars are there: Prayas, Satyam, and this is all what we need to say about. If somebody says what is this aesthetics, I will say these 4 are the pillars. Go through it and try to concentrate on these things and study Vyapti Charachara Bhava Vishesham Tanmayam Ekam Anantamanajam. Then he says, Nirtiti Gayati Hrishiti Gadam Tatritam Sangit. It is all that what is being said at that time when he finally we should not say whether it is merger or lie or he entered or whatever it is. He just became, he was Shiva, and then he became Ek Atma Rupa with Shiva. That is all. So I think in my humble way, whatever I could speak or whatever I had written these 11 pages, this was only my hard work which I did yesterday. I will send it to Dimpleji, and you may just put your comments. I shall feel honored that. Thank you very much. Namaskar, Mare. God bless. God bless you all. Shubham Sarvatra. Shubham Bhavatu Sarvatra.
Dr. Rastogi, one young woman, Kanchan Gogte, is working at Pune University on Swami Vivekananda and Sri Aurobindo's literature, and she is particularly focused on the visits of these 2 figures to Kashmir. She has collected data about Swami Vivekananda's visit to Kashmir, and she was to actually send some information about Sri Aurobindo's visit to Kashmir also, but I will check with her whether she really got that data or that information or not.
No, that will be excellent, because you see, there is one statement by Swami Vivekananda also about Kashmir Shaivism, about Sikh Shaivism, and I was trying to locate the source of it, but unfortunately I could not. So it was attributed to Swami Vivekananda, whether it is by Swami Vivekananda or not. And but because since you see it's so early, I mean, because our knowledge of really speaking, you see what has happened, Professor Nagraj. that our acquaintance with Abhinavagupta and the Kashmir tradition, I mean outside Kashmir, is very, very recent. In fact, you see, it dates back with the publication of Kashmir Shaivism by J.C. Chatterjee. So, I mean, this is I think it is the first 20 years of the 20th century that we started to know about this, I mean, this very illustrious tradition, but naturally. And then, of course, Swamiji's was there, but with the advent of Professor Pandey, my teacher, so when he published his Abhinavagupta in 1935, so then Abhinavagupta was a name that was introduced to the university systems and the academic systems, I mean, all over the world. So he internalized, I mean, in that way. So the only thing is, because you see, there are missing links in our understanding, and naturally, so whenever these inputs come, they become very important, because you see, then we are in a much better position to at least appreciate our contemporary history and contextualize many things that go around Kashmir Shaivism and, of course, our own knowledge about them. So thank you so much. I'm so sorry that I intervened and disturbed.
No, that's a very good. That's a very good.
Can I speak for only 1 minute?
Anmara, please go ahead.
मेरा आप सभी से नम्र निवेदन है, आप सोपुरी जी को जानते जो वाइस चांसलर रहे थे जेएनयू में, उनके पास स्वामी जी को एक धरोहर में मिला था, जो महेश्वर जो राजदान जी ने अपने यामी अवस्था में जाने के समय 126 नाम लिखे हैं देवी के, शक्ति देवी के शक्ति में, चित्त भैरवी पर है ये। और उनके पास जब उनकी स्नान क्रिया हो रही थी, तो स्वामी जी उस वक्त मौन अवस्था में थे, मगर वो वहां पे गए थे, तो उनके महेश्वर राजदान के जेब में से वो 4 पन्ने निकले थे। उसको स्वामी जी ने धरोहर के रूप में और गुरु का प्रसाद समझकर अपने पास रखा था। उसके बाद उन्होंने उसको बहुत, that was a sacred relic with them। उसके बाद ये आदरणीय योगिनी जी शारिका जी के पास थे, उसके पश्चात ये प्रभा जी के पास पहुंच गए। प्रभा जी के पास जब ये पहुंचे थे, तो ये बिल्कुल उन्होंने इसको as sacred, just like it's a sacred word for them। तो बात मैं जब वो मेरे पुस्तक कादी विद्या का विमोचन कर रहे थे वाइस चांसलर सोपोरी जी, आप उनको सभी जानते हैं, सोपोरी जी, तो उन्होंने बात में कहा कि मेरे पास इस वक्त 126 नाम ये पेजेस है। इसको प्रोफेसर पुष्प ने शारदा लिपि से देवनागरी में ट्रांसक्राइब किया था। तो मैंने just a flash of second, I told him, if you allow me, I will just have a look at it and I will just explain it, whatever it comes to me। He said, okay। And उन्हें लगा था कि आप माने कि मैंने ये काम 101 नाम पर एक पेज लिखा है, सोर्सेस ढूंढ के कि कहां से इसका सोर्स है, फ्रॉम द वेदास, फ्रॉम द पुराणास एंड फ्रॉम द तंत्रास। तो उन्होंने कहा ये तो हिंदी में है, तो मैंने इसके लिए फिर उसके पश्चात मैंने इनके 126 नामों को सिंपल इंग्लिश में भी अंग्रेजी में किया है। अब ये क्योंकि इस समय ये प्रोफेसर सोपोरी जी, सुधीर सोपोरी जी के पास है, उन्होंने फिर इसको DK पब्लिशर्स है दिल्ली में, उनसे इन्होंने इसको पब्लिश करवा लिया और इस पुस्तक का विमोचन भी हो गया। मैं चाहता हूं, क्योंकि ये एक धरोहर, इनको 126 names of the divine mother as yami, it is the yami अवस्था of महेश्वर जो राजदान, तो उनके पास ये धरोहर रूप में है। तो उस पुस्तक को अगर आप मंगवा सकते हैं, पढ़ सकते हैं, मैं मंगवा सकता हूं। कहते सोपोजी जी विल बी वेरी ग्लैड। और उन्होंने फिर, मैंने उनके एक और पुस्तक है जो उनकी दृष्टि पर है, किसी और टिपू साहब ने वो लिखी है, उन्होंने मुझे कहा था प्रीफेस लिखने के लिए, और उस पर मैंने फिर प्रीफेस लिया कि ये दृष्टि के, एक तो शक्तिपात होता है, दूसरा दृष्टिपात क्या है। The rest part I could understand from the guidance I received from Swami Lakshman Maharaj. Barcelona ji approves of it. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you very much.
मैं अवश्य मंगा लूंगा जी. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आपकी कृपा.
Thank you very much, Master.
Thank you, Raina साहब. Thank you, Rastogi ji. I'm so glad कि आपने पूछा ये question, Rastogi sir. एकदम और ज्ञान की गंगा यहाँ पे अभी बहना चालू हो गई. तो thank you so much, and I think we should just forget the time restraint. I understand.
Satyam and Shreyas and Prayas.
जी. Correct.